Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to another YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back here again in today's video. We're going to be doing the first episode of Loki Season 2, reviewing Season 2, Episode 1. But before we do that, let's kind of talk about what were my thoughts going into this season, and also recapping my thoughts on the first season of Loki. So my opinions on the first season of Loki, if you guys don't know, one of the big things on this channel is I am known to not be the biggest fan of that season. Mainly because, you know, I was excited for it when it was first announced, you know, because after coming off of Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision, there were these shows that had unique stuff, brought back the stuff we love about Marvel, but also did character studies on these side characters that we barely knew. And so when you're doing that with Loki, I'm like, that sounds interesting, but also doing a concept that sounds interesting as well as like time, like authorities, like that sounds cool. And then it just became this whole other story. It took its time on different episodes, and then it just led to this whole episode of like that everyone's variants, timekeepers don't exist, and then there's someone that controls all of time. And that was my opinion about 2021 and 2022. My opinion has actually changed a lot since then, because we now know where the next three phases of the MCU are leading to with Kang. And from what Season 2 can set up, of it being this big cliffhanger, I guess you could say I appreciated Loki Season 1 a little more. And now, obviously, it's still not my favorite show on these, but it's one of the better series because of the way that because of the acting, because of the story, of the way it was set up, and even with the cliffhanger, it makes sense in the character of Loki, as he's always betraying people that he loves, and so now he loves someone, and he was betrayed by that person, and so now he knows what that feels like. And so that set up something so interesting. So going into Loki Season 2, I was excited to see these characters again, and also just experience a different type of story for the Marvel Universe. So now, let's talk about what were my thoughts on the first episode. So, my general thoughts on this episode is I absolutely loved it. I think the first thing we gotta talk about here is I really liked the way that it just kind of starts off, where it really just does a great way of establishing this episode and the rules and what's going on, and that it starts off and you see Kang's statue and you see Loki running from Mobius and the TVA agents, and you realize this is not the TVA that he was supposed to go to. This is a TVA in the past. And it also, it makes you question a lot of different things. That, even throughout the series, he's time-slipping. I mean, throughout the episode, he's time-slipping. And that's one of the main parts of this episode. And that it figures out, it's like, they create this plot line of, like, that he who remains has wiped your memories. He's done this many times, and if there's a lot of these past TVAs, then he's probably done this like a million times to wipe your memory a lot of times. And I think another great part about this episode is that it makes you feel like Kang is an actual threat. When he goes to another timeline and he sees the statues or something else, you go to the present TVA and he does the thing and you realize the Kang statues were there the whole time. He just covered it. And it's like, that's actually pretty scary, but it's like, that's a great way to show the threat of Kang. And even in the acting and the performances, and even talking about some other things, I loved Loki and Mobius in this episode. Just seeing them and having their banter back and forth, and Mobius commenting on Loki disappearing and stuff, it's hilarious. And kind of learning about all this stuff, and like time slipping doesn't exist until now. Another great part about this episode was of course Ke Huy Quan. I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, as well as Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. He was great in both of those movies, and finally seeing this guy in the MCU, he's pretty great, and he works really well in this episode, and he's really funny. So I really enjoyed him in this episode. And even I like that the main plot, like, yeah, we know He Who Remains is out there, but first we gotta focus on the disappearing problem, and we solved that, and now our next focus is finding Sylvie. So I'm pretty sure that the next episode is going to be focusing on finding Sylvie, so hopefully that's what it is. So overall, I really loved, and also the post-credit scene was really good, as you get Sylvie going to McDonald's. That's pretty fun, and getting hired there. Fun times. So that was my opinions on the good on this one. Now let's talk about the bad. Now, I don't really have many issues with this episode, but I think the big issue I kind of come across is that it kind of tries to do a little bit too much and resolve stuff, that it tries to put so much in your face that it's kind of a little bit overwhelming, and that it almost feels like, what exactly is going on here? And that, like, it's fun to see these characters again, but honestly, it's like, why was it that everybody loved this show? Because I guess it was something different from the normal Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, that's an interesting plot, but I don't know, it's like, I'm used to having my Marvel projects do great character arcs, interesting worlds, and fantastic action sequences. And that's not what this show really is. And I can respect it for that. Not every Marvel show or Marvel project needs to be action-based. You look at the first couple episodes of WandaVision, it wasn't really based on an action show. Besides that, I would say that this was a very great episode, and I can't wait for episode 2 this upcoming week. I know I posted this review late, but who cares? And that will be my review for episode 1 of season 2. Before I go to my final score, be sure to comment below. What are your thoughts on episode 1 of season 2? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? What I mean? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. With that said, let's go on my scores. Alright, so that's it for my scores, but we have one more thing to do for you in this video. Well, a couple more things. Theories, thoughts on Phase 5, and am I excited for the next season? So, when it comes to theories with this show, I hear a lot of things that Loki might tie into the events of Deadpool 3. I'm pretty sure that it's definitely going to tie into Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. And honestly, I don't really know. As this is a time travel show, I don't really know exactly where they can go with this. The thing about this show that I like is that it's not using the time travel element to go to places that are fan servicey, to places that we already know. It's going to places that find ways to matter in the story that are telling, but make sense. Like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna go to McDonald's because they need to find Sylvie in the 1987, another timeline. So I'm interested to see where the theories are gonna go. We'll just have to wait and see. So Phase 5, you know, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, trash. Guardians, fantastic. Secret Invasion, really great. I Am Groot, great. But then this show comes in, and it just once again isn't a great show. Really, a project I really loved this year was Guardians, and I can't find anything else that was great. But that is only my opinion. Now let's talk about, am I excited for this season? So now that I've finally watched episode 1 of season 2, am I excited for the future, for the next 5 episodes of Loki season 2? I can definitely say yes. I am excited, and I'm hoping that this will be another great Marvel season, and hopefully it'll present something unique for the Marvel Universe. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All those social media stuff in the section over there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.